Goedenavond. Sinds 2 jaar is de relatie tussen Israël en Nederland meer onder druk komen te staan. Voor de nieuwe ambassadeur van Israël in Nederland is er werk aan de winkel om dit weer te verbeteren. Bij ons in de studio Zvi Aviner Wapni, ambassadeur van Israël in Nederland. Good evening, Mr. Wapni.
Good evening.
Yeah, glad we have you in our show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you've been ambassador since September 10. How you fill your days?
They're extremely busy, and we are very active, and we're working on different issues. And I travel a lot around the country.
Yeah.
I want to meet the Dutch people, talk to them. I want to create a kind of conversation with people.
Okay.
Whether they agree with us or not, but absolutely, that's part of my job.
Okay, very good. You were ambassador in the Philippines and Slovakia. How different is that compared to the Netherlands?
Well, I think that my service here in the Netherlands is unique for me. The last 2 years have been, I think, unprecedented for us Israelis. And many things have changed, not necessarily for the better when it comes to the international arena.
Yeah.
When I talk about the Philippines or Slovakia, it's been in a different period. Of course, culturally they're different and so on and so forth. But what I've faced here is challenging in many levels. And it's a result of the war that was initiated by Hamas 2 years ago.
October 7.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
October 7.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that. But one of your first visits here in the Netherlands was to the king, Willem-Alexander.
Yes.
How was that?
Lovely.
Yeah.
I got to say, it was a lovely ceremony.
Yeah.
It was well done, you know, to arrive with a horse and the carriage, to go through, to meet the king.
Yeah.
We had a very, very interesting conversation. He's very knowledgeable about our region. I was, you know, pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
And we had a very serious conversation, and I appreciate that.
They bring you in a carriage to the palace.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very special.
That's unique. But, you know, this happens only in countries where they have king.
Okay.
So it's a special ceremony.
Yeah.
So it was a nice experience, all in all.
Okay, that's good. Let's go to the atmosphere in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
What kind of atmosphere you noticed when you came here?
Well, there are a lot of active organization and active element that try their best to make the relation between the two countries complicated. They are essentially anti-Israeli, at time, you know, touching or verging on anti-Semitic. The attacks against Israel is daily and every, not only against Israel, against anyone who works with Israel.
Yeah.
You know, every institution, every organization that try to get in touch with Israel or cooperate is being savagely attacked.
So companies, schools, universities.
Cultural institutes, universities that unfortunately themselves boycott Israel. So this poses a challenge for us.
Yeah.
And this is a change because, you know, usually when we talk about the Netherlands, it was kind of in the middle, kind of a center in Europe, and we appreciate the friendship with the Netherlands, and the whole mood changed. This doesn't mean necessarily that all Dutch people are on the same page and anti-Israeli. I meet here a lot of people who are very positive about Israel, but I think many of them are intimidated to say so.
Intimidated?
Yes, absolutely.
So they're afraid to speak out?
They are afraid to speak out. Of course, we have, you know, we have good friends that are vocal in the Christian community and Jewish community, but there are many people who feel positively about Israel, but they are afraid that if they're going to express themselves, they're going to be themselves boycotted, attacked, shamed on social networks, or you know, action of even violence will be taken against them.
Yeah.
And this is for me a bad sign, a bad vibe to have in the country.
Who do you blame that? Is that our government, our politicians?
No. I think it's mainly those organizations that are active. You see them marching on. You see them, you know, attacking Jewish organization. You see them trying to attack again and against the embassy itself. There have been already 3 or 4 occasions in which they actually try to break in and attack the embassy. You see them actively disseminating this kind of libels against Israel and this hate mode, and those are the ones that I blame the most.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You said in an earlier interview that especially young minds are easy to manipulate.
Yeah, I think a challenge that we have with young people today, and I think we all know that, is that the source of where they get their news from, and they hear those sound bites of against Israel, and in many cases they feel this is the right thing without actually learning in depth our conflict, the real situation in Israel, the real conflict between us and the Palestinians, and it influences them. It influences them because they think this is without exploring it deeply, they think this is the situation. They absorb the interpretation of this very, very hostile organization.
Yeah, it all started in 7 October 2023.
Exactly.
But if I tell you that in a war or in a conflict, on both sides, the things are what is the truth you see in a conflict?
The truth is that on the 7th of October 2023, when we were celebrating Sukkot, which is a lovely family holiday, and everybody were completely relaxed, we were all of a sudden attacked by a terror organization called Hamas. It's a branch of the Muslim Brotherhood, one of the most dangerous elements, not only vis-à-vis Israel, but vis-à-vis the whole Arab world. They cross the border, they attack mostly civilians in kibbutzim and other, villages next to the border, but also a big party, Nova party.
Yeah, we all saw the pictures of that. Yeah.
Shooting people, raping, killing, burning people alive, killing children, killing civilians in their home, in their sleep, burning them. Horrific, horrific. This was the start of this war. And this sometimes people tend to forget or want to forget that the war didn't start by any initiative of Israel. Actually, we thought that the front with Gaza was quite quiet. We did what we can in order to allow more Gazans to come to work in Israel. We want to stabilize the situation, and all of a sudden, this attack on the 7th of October 2023. This is the beginning of the story. Now, it is important also to remember that we are dealing with a terror organization, one of the most horrible in the world, that have only one aim, one objective in mind, is the destruction of the State of Israel. And they came and they were very well prepared, and unfortunately they were joined immediately by organizations in Europe and the United States that worked on changing the public opinion, on taking control of the public space with demonstration, with hateful messages, with claim that Israel is doing genocide and horrible such things that are completely baseless, and they spread those things here. So the combination of what happened in the Middle East.
So they have a good public relation.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can tell.
Yeah, absolutely. They worked very hard and smartly in a way, and reaching people and connecting some element, let's say, in the very far left of the political map here in this country. And the result was a complete barrage of attack on Israel in the media, on social network, everywhere.
Is it difficult?
We were dealing with the world.
Is it difficult for you to fight against that?
Of course it is. Of course it is. It poses a challenge. If your source of news as a young person is TikTok or other social network, and they are being taken over almost by this kind of horrible propaganda, you seem to believe that this is the truth. If you see picture from Gaza, and some of them are a truthful picture, of a conflict, of a war, and war is a horrible thing. We cannot ignore it.
So for common people, it's hard to understand what's happening.
Exactly.
And what is the truth?
Exactly.
That you see.
Yeah. The fact that some Palestinians do that, or the fact that some Muslim in some countries do that, it's fine. It's not fine, but it's a fact of life. But the fact that it's being joined by people in the Netherlands because they think this is the reality, without examining, without understanding, without trying to understand what's actually going on in the ground. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is one of the most complicated conflicts in the world. And it's hard to understand. But instead of learning it and understanding that Israel, a Western democracy, is being attacked by a most dark, horrible, fundamentalist organization, terror organization, they see it, through the sound bites and through the slogans coming from the other side.
But can you guarantee? You're a diplomat, so I ask it. Can you guarantee that Israel is giving the right view to the world on this conflict?
We are doing our best, absolutely. We're dealing with those challenges. We are presenting the situation. We are telling the story of the people who have been killed, to those who have been taken hostages and only recently came back, those that have been starved in tunnels under Gaza. We are telling this story again and again, and we are doing our work. As a diplomat, this is my job, amongst other things, to reach people and to talk to them and to explain to them. But if you're talking about the mood in the country, this is a challenge for us, yes.
Okay. There is now a ceasefire. ceasefire and yes, is there a ceasefire?
There is a ceasefire.
We heard reports about shooting.
Look, there is a ceasefire.
Yeah.
And we would love to think that this is the end of the war.
Okay.
To tell you that Hamas is going to follow through, to tell you that they will do what they're supposed to do. For example, part of this agreement, which is a crucial part of this agreement, is that when we create a new situation in Gaza, Hamas should never, ever be part of this.
Yeah.
They have caused the destruction of Gaza with their activity. They have used citizens as a human shields. If you see children and civilians suffering in Gaza, you should understand that the major reason for that is that Hamas used them very, very cynically. They shoot from schools and from hospitals and from within houses, and they don't care about their own casualty dying. If you want a proof for that, see what's happening in Gaza in the last few weeks. They are executing their own. Now that we are living and now the war is over, they're just executing people right and left. But no one cares about that.
Yeah, but you were bombing Gaza. Did you warn the people who are on the ground?
We constantly warn the people on the ground. We constantly ask them, we even said, we are going to bomb this specific area, and even said for what reason we're going to do that, because there was a headquarters or concentration of terrorists. Please move away from this area because this is going to be dangerous for you. This is the purpose. We try as much as we can to avoid the killing of civilians, but it's very, very hard because Gaza is very crowded, and as I said, they intentionally use civilian concentration because they know the effect it has on the media.
On the world.
They want to see those things. They want, and people in Netherlands who do not know the reality on the ground say, "Oh, this is horrible, Israel bombarding civilians." No, we ask the civilian to leave. We open the road. We allow them to leave, and we hope that they would leave this area and we can deal with the challenges we have with Hamas. Needless to say that in some cases, Hamas didn't let them go. So they wanted those pictures of dead women and dead babies, but they brought it about by their very cynical usage of civilians.
Yeah. Do you think that Hamas will finally drop the weapons?
They should.
They should, it's an agreement, but...
That's a big question.
Yeah.
When you deal with organizations such as Hamas, the fact that we reach an agreement is not a guarantee.
No.
I mean, they are not, it's not like between two countries. This is between a country and a horrible terror organization that doesn't care. So if they would abide by this agreement, they should leave. They should disarm. They should leave the whole scene, you know, and not be any more of a danger to us. And to have any control over any part of Gaza. We are hopeful, but we are cautiously hopeful.
Do you think this would have been possible, this whole thing, without Donald Trump? Or is it on his account that...
Look, the only thing I know, and I can say that it was his initiative. He got into it. He was deeply involved. He brought the sides together. And he was extremely active, you know, personally. And for that, we're very grateful.
With his son-in-law
With his son-in-law, Jared
Kushner, negotiations.
Yes, and the negotiation and other people. And he was completely committed and concentrated on this. For this, we are very thankful. He came to Israel recently, and I think he was received with a lot of appreciation amongst Israelis for the simple fact that he managed to do this. After 2 years of war that seems to be never-ending, he managed to bring it to a halt. So we appreciate that very, very much.
In the meantime, we have an arrest warrant against your prime minister here in the Netherlands.
Yes, through the ICC.
How do you cope with that?
This is another challenge of a different type, and we are dealing with this. We are following every development when it comes to this thing. I think it's a mistake, a serious mistake on the part of the ICC.
Why?
Because you know, this have not been reached a phase even that we should even be considering those things, and they are very quick to decide and very quick to publish those arrests to decide that you want to arrest an elected leader of a democratic country. You should really have all, you know, everything explained and proved. Don't take this step hastily.
But also in your own country, there are some cases against him that if he steps down, he has to go to court.
There are cases against him, that's true, and there are some investigation. We're a democratic country, you know, and when there are suspicions, the police is checking him. Even if you're a prime minister, you're going to be examined. Actually, I find it as a source of pride that no one is exempt from the justice in my country.
Yeah.
And but I cannot say anything about it because none of us really know the in-depth detail of this investigation. Yeah. But what ICC is doing is very, very different. We're not talking about criminal investigation, on that basis.
Yeah.
They almost reach. They create a kind of sense that as if they know already, and they're convinced that what have happened and that he's in charge and he should be arrested. I think this is a mistake. This is not how this court should behave.
Okay. Last question on this issue: the humanitarian help must go back to Gaza. Also, UNRWA must play their role in Gaza.
I'm not sure. I absolutely sure that there should be a humanitarian aid coming.
Yeah.
Humanitarian aid, actually, the quantity have grown considerably in the last few months, and we are willing to do that. Throughout the war, we had always a challenge with the fact that Hamas took over much of this aid and used it and sell it.
Yeah.
Again, you have so much footage of them controlling truck, taking them, and then either storing them for their own purposes or selling them. So we wanted to kind of find a way to do that. To allow humanitarian aid to get in, but not to make Hamas stronger.
Okay.
Making the only element that has food. UNRWA is a very complicated story. Yeah. UNRWA is an organization that started as an international organization and became completely an extension into a certain level.
They were involved in all.
Absolutely. Yeah. People of UNRWA have been involved in action on the 7th of October. Yeah. So you're talking about an organization that is not like the benevolent UN international organization. You're talking about an organization that have been deeply involved on the part of terror. And member of Hamas have been member of UNRWA. And UNRWA, in a way, I think, have been taken over almost, willingly or unwillingly, by Hamas. Okay. So when we talk about UNRWA, we are concerned whether they are really doing their function or serve another branch.
Yeah, you have some questions about their role.
Serious question that, unfortunately, some elements in the international arena prefer not to discuss and not to investigate fully. Okay.
Let's go to the hostages that were released. How they're doing, you know that?
It's this really story that broke our heart. Those young men and women that have been for 2 years in tunnels, suffering tremendously. Some of the stories will probably only be told in years to come. We respect their privacy and we respect the fact that they're coming back from hell. And you see them coming on with the clothes, but what they carry with them is physical, but also deep emotional.
See it on their faces.
You see it on their face. They're coming from darkness into light. Their family have been torn apart with grief. And now they're...
Are they getting extra help?
Absolutely.
From your country?
Absolutely. Actually, how do you say it? Necessity is the mother of invention. When you need things, you develop them. And there was a lot done during our whole existence. Unfortunately, we have experience with different affliction of war and conflict. But there is a lot done to allow them to recuperate slowly, to allow them to have their privacy. At the same time, if they want, they can share their story. They're surrounded not only by their family, but a lot of experts, a lot of help given to them. And we hope, because they're young, that's the only thing that they...
So maybe can get their life back.
Full recuperation. Those are difficult stories. But I can tell you that when they were released, it was a day of overjoy for us. We were so happy to see them because we know all of the names. We know the stories. We heard it so many times. Many of the parents visited here in the Netherlands. So you met them, and politicians and others met them, and they were... at least this was a moment in which we said, at least this part of this horrific nightmare is over.
You changed 22 hostages against 2,000 prisoners.
That's it gives you in a nutshell.
Comparable with each other?
No, it's not. Mathematically, no. Number-wise, absolutely not. Morally, this is the difference between our society and the mentality of Hamas. Hamas do not care. We allow the release of people who are convicted murderer and terrorists, certified. They have been judged by court to spend some of them the rest of their life in jail. But in order to get our hostages back, we said we are willing even to release them as part of a bargain. Is it a good bargain? If you look at at the facts, probably not, because we are releasing terrorists. But on the side of the parents and the families, and the whole people in Israel, that our hostages are being brought back, the alive one and the dead one, this is something that morally we thought was justifiable.
Okay. Let's go back to the first questions I asked you. You arrived just in the Netherlands. What is your main goal here in the Netherlands? Do you have pinpointed something on the horizon that you want to reach with 1, 2, 3 years?
Yes, absolutely. I think that, first of all, our mission as ambassador is to create and maintain a network of connection on all fields in this country. That's what we do, because we want to keep on the connection streaming in different levels. Especially given the situation now, what I would like to do is to have a, first of all, to maintain our friends, to be in touch with them, because we have friends in this country. We want to work with them, we appreciate them tremendously, and we want to work with them. Second, I'm open to conversation with everybody. I want to speak with people. I want to talk to them. You don't have to agree with me if we speak, but we have at least to create a channel of communication and to maintain a kind of infrastructure that will allow us when things are starting to change, and I hope they will start to change soon, and we can get rid of the boycott in your universities, or the cultural boycott that have been imposed on us, and the mood will start to change. We will be ready. But on a day-to-day, we're constantly doing many things. We outreach to people. We work on plans about, cooperation in many fields. We're working with the people who are willing to work with us, and we are in conversation with those that are still hesitating.
Okay, so you're open for conversation.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. I have no problem. I have no problem speaking with anyone, as long as he's not anti-Semite, because this is something which is beyond, and as long as we have a respectable conversation. And because one of the worst things that could happen, and it's happening now, you see it all around the world, is this kind of cancel culture. If you do not agree with me completely, I don't want to see you at all. I want to delete you, cancel you. That's horrible. That goes against the core of our civilization, that is created out of discussion, of the conversation. We don't have to agree, but we agree to talk. We agree to respect one another. And that's the thing that I mostly like to achieve.
Okay, very good, In the meantime, it's an exciting period in the Netherlands because we have elections next Wednesday.
Yes.
Yeah, you may not vote, but you watch it.
Yes. I think the only thing I don't do regarding this election is vote. I follow, I listen, I know all the players, I'm trying to understand. And like many people in the Netherlands, I'm very curious to see what will be the result and how a coalition will be built here.
Yeah, let me ask it this way, last question. What is the best coalition we can form for Israel?
I wouldn't tell you the name of parties, but I want to see in this coalition a kind of good sense of even if we don't agree, not to take the opinion of the very far anti-Israeli notions. People that say, okay, I might be critical of Israel on that point or the other, but we really have to maintain connection. We really have to work together. We are friendly countries. We have history of cooperation. We have been together on so many issues, and we should maintain that. We shouldn't let ourselves be swept away by some mood at the moment that is so anti-Israeli or anti-Semitic. We should work together.
You're afraid for that? That the atmosphere is so tense that people don't
I'm concerned about that, but I'm also, I think I'm starting to understand the strong Dutch common sense. And on that, I think we can count that maybe people will realize that we shouldn't really get swept away, and we should remember how important is the friendship and the common history and what we have together.
So friends in The Hague, friends in Jerusalem.
Absolutely.
Both countries.
Yes, with willingness to speak and to think together how we can continue to work.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zevi Avner Wapny.
Thank you very much, sir.
Conversation.